So I've been going to coffee shops recently a few times a week, which scares me because I don't want to spend too much money, but I just make sure I get something that's relatively cheap. I don't stay there for a really long time because I don't need to. Just an hour is enough to make me think, oh, okay, there's life outside of this home, outside of this situation that I'm existing in. I feel good. I can go back home now and be in my own company and everything just feels a bit lighter and easier. And yeah, it's just really worth the money. I could be spending money on a gym membership, which I'm not. And that's sometimes, like 40 quid a month. But I would much rather spend my money in coffee shops, in spaces where I can go and just be around other people, but still be in my own little bubble. I actually think that's some of my best spent money. It's okay to be upset when people let us down, when people don't make an effort to treat us, to spend time with us. Maybe you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner's not being as proactive with making plans with you as he used to be, or they used to be, or she used to be. And you feel a bit disappointed and you're thinking, I'm upset and I actually really want to complain about this and I actually feel like I deserve more. You're completely within your rights to do that, and I think you should do that. You should vocalize your frustrations with your partner. But then I think it's also good to then go, okay, I've expressed my emotions, I've let out my sadness, I've felt my feelings, I've told my partner that I'm feeling a little bit lonely and that I want more quality time with them. But now, what can I do for myself? Because sometimes it's just not good enough waiting on someone else to show up for you. If you're feeling upset because somebody's letting you down and you're waiting on them, stop waiting on them and start showing up for yourself in the ways that you want other people to show up for you. So if you're in a relationship, maybe more of a codependent relationship, if you rely more on male validation than self-validation to feel good in each day, if you are generally interested in making your life more fruitful and exciting, this video is for you. I don't want you to be that person that's like, oh, because my partner's not made plans with me today, because my partner's not been proactive, because these people are not free anymore, I'm going to have a miserable day, I'm going to be unhappy. You have the power today, right now, to take your life into your own hands and stop waiting on other people. If you want other people to treat you like a princess, but they're not around to treat you like a princess, they're not willing to, then you can treat yourself like a princess, or better, a queen. I realise it's super cathartic to complain about how people are treating us, how our partner's treating us, how the men in our lives are treating us. It's so cathartic to vent and to let our frustrations out, and I think that's really healthy. It's also good for the other person to know where they're going wrong and where they're letting you down. It's good to set boundaries, it's good to do all of that, but I don't think it should stop there. I don't want you to be waiting on other people to have a good day. I really don't want you to give other people the power. I don't want your day to be determined by other people's moods and other people's motivation or lack of. Instead of waiting for other people to show up or make plans with you, I want you to make plans with yourself. I want you to unshackle yourself from that kind of codependent relationship where you're waiting for your partner to agree to go for a walk with you. I want you to go for a walk with yourself, and I want you to spend some time with yourself, drawing in a coffee shop, researching a topic you find interesting, people watching. We deem it embarrassing to be out in public on our own. I think a lot of the time people go on their phones so it looks like they're connected to someone, because there is a bit of shame, obviously, that a lot of us feel with being alone. We're worried that we come across as kind of like friendless, undesirable humans, but alone time is beautiful and it's so valuable. A big thing that I want you to work on is releasing the shame of being out in public alone. It's beautiful to experience the world on your own, as well as with other people, but my God, do we need more of that balance? I think a lot of us do rely on other people to exist and experience life out in public. So I really do want you to stop waiting on other people, on men to take you on dates, because you can date yourself, you can take yourself out, and you can make your life so beautiful from the word go. You just have to make some plans, know what to do to make your life more beautiful in each day, and you need to be brave and you need to go for it. And that's what I'm here for. Freedom is knowing that you've got your own back, knowing that if everybody else falls through, you're still going to be there, ready to take yourself out, ready to show up for yourself. Now that is something that is really hard. I don't know if you can relate to this, but in the past, and actually somewhat in the present, I do struggle to show up for myself. But I've had a week where I've been on my own in the apartment, on my own in a city, And I've had to show up for myself, otherwise I just would have hermited so much and probably got into a bit of a depressive state. But I showed up for myself. I took myself out for coffee. I dressed up every day. I cooked myself delicious food. I made sure I went and got the ingredients to cook myself delicious food. Being able to show up for yourself with nobody watching or nobody helping you or nobody in the equation is a really powerful thing. You have to have a lot of self-trust to know that when everyone else is not around and everyone else can't show up for you, it's such a powerful thing to be able to be like, it's okay though. I'm not scared because I know that I've got my own back. I can trust myself. I can trust that if I set out to do something, I will do it. I know it can be difficult. You might be the kind of person that promises yourself that you're going to do a lot of good things for yourself and you don't live up to those promises. Maybe you say, I'm going to start dressing up for each day and I'm not going to let myself wear my joggers every day, and you actually don't do that. Then you start to think, oh, I can't trust myself, I always let myself down, I lack the motivation. I realise how this can spiral, and it means we rely more on other people because we can't rely on ourselves. But that is the first thing that I would really encourage you to prioritise. I know it's a big thing, but just owning it and talking about the fact that you might let yourself down from time to time is a great thing to do. Share with your friends or your therapist, and just say, look, I'm letting myself down, I can't trust myself. I need to be held accountable in some way. I need to write in my journal and say, look, this is what I'm struggling with. How can I move forward? But first we do need to be kind of aware that we're doing this. So yeah, have that awareness of your relationship to treating yourself, your relationship to yourself. We are going to shift from that victim mentality to that saviour mentality. We're going to save ourselves. It's okay to be upset when people let us down, when people don't make an effort to treat us, to spend time with us. Maybe you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner's not being as proactive with making plans with you as he used to be, or they used to be, or she used to be, and you feel a bit disappointed and you're thinking, I'm upset and I actually really want to complain about this and I actually feel like I deserve more. You're completely within your rights to do that, and I think you should do that. You should vocalise your frustrations with your partner. But then I think it's also good to then go, okay, I've expressed my emotions, I've let out my sadness, I've felt my feelings, I've told my partner that I'm feeling a little bit lonely and that I want more quality time with them. But now, what can I do for myself? Because sometimes it's just not good enough waiting on someone else to show up for you. If you're feeling upset because somebody's letting you down and you're waiting on them, stop waiting on them and start showing up for yourself in the ways that you want other people to show up for you. So I have caught myself lounging around, watching television, not getting into a nice outfit, not making myself feel fresh and clean, not giving my body the fuel that it needs to be in this place where I can do things and feel good. I've caught myself do this quite a few times, and the common denominator is I don't have plans with other people. But why is it that when we don't have plans with other people, that we think it's okay to neglect ourselves? Why does it take somebody being ready to see us and spend time with us for us to go, oh crap, I need to show up for myself now, I need to get ready, I need to look and feel good, I need to get myself in a mental state where I can see other people? If you have this tendency to show up for yourself because you know you're meeting other people, but not just show up for yourself when you know you deserve it and need it, which is every day, that needs to stop. And that's going to stop today. Okay, because this video is going to motivate you to start making your everyday beautiful for nobody else but yourself. As kids, we used to dance in our bedrooms all the time, go out and play in nature. We used to dress up in those Disney princess outfits. We played and we expressed ourselves and we had fun in our own company. In fact, when I was younger, I think some of my best memories were just me playing on my own, just me doing my own thing in the garden with my toys. We can still do all of that now. Just because we're adults doesn't mean that we don't deserve time to play and to just tap into what feels right in the moment. Oh, there's a candle here, I want to play with it. Maybe I'll use it as a microphone and start singing. Why is it as adults that we feel so uncomfortable with playtime now? With being anything but logical and put together and ladylike and all these words. A lot of us are scared of being judged. We're scared of people looking at us and going, how immature, what a child, look at her. And I get that that's a really scary prospect, being viewed as weird or childish or immature by other people. But in my opinion, I feel sorry for people that don't feel like they can tap into that inner child, because actually it's the most beautiful form of expression. It's just the most natural, unforced, unegotistical way to be in this world. The television programs that we watched growing up and the films glamorized prioritizing our romantic relationships over our relationships with ourselves. When's the last time that you watched a film where the happy ending was a woman prioritizing herself, dumping the guy, because usually films are just heterosexual relationships, dumping the guy, learning to focus on her passions, making sure that they've got good friends around them? When was the last time that that was shown to you as the happy ending? It's not the happy ending we know, is it? The happy ending we know is they get married, have babies, and live in a big house together. I believe the most tangible happy ending that we can strive for is the happy ending that we can create for ourselves. We can decide to show up for ourselves, but we can't decide for anybody else to start showing up for us. I think young Alessia would have really benefited from a film that showed a woman prioritising her needs and her feelings rather than prioritising trying to look good for other people. I think as women it's so easy to fall into this trap of seeing ourselves from other people's perspectives. Not that we can do that, because we're never in someone else's mind. But I do think it's easy to be like, I'm the main character. Does he think I'm hot? Does she think I'm hot? Do they think I'm cool? It's so easy to fall into that trap of feeling watched because we've grown up with films that really objectify women. So it's so easy to self-objectify. But it's so much more beautiful to focus on how you're feeling internally and then let that feeling, that internal desire or feeling, direct how you behave and how you exist in the world. So for example, if you are sat in a coffee shop and there are, a couple of people in the coffee shop that you're feeling a little bit intimidated by, or you want to look attractive in front of, and you get that thought of, sit up, pat your lips. I want you to challenge that thought and just say to yourself, actually, I've been really enjoying researching what I'm researching on my laptop. I'm going to get back into the flow of that because that's going to slow my heart rate down. That's going to mean that I enjoy my time out more. And that's going to mean that I stop looking at myself as this object that needs to look good all the time. It's just so beautiful to get engrossed in a task that enables us to forget that we are being watched. The feeling of being watched, I think, is just something that women struggle with constantly. So one thing that I've been doing for myself recently that honestly makes me light up. It makes me so happy. It makes every day so much more exciting. It makes me feel less alone. It makes me less dependent on my friends or my partner, is taking myself out to coffee shops to work. Even if it's the weekend and I haven't got plans with other people, just knowing that I have a little sanctuary outside of my home, a coffee shop that I can go to where I can be surrounded by other humans who are usually kind of happy to be there, is such a comforting thought. It's such a freeing and liberating thought, because I'm the kind of person that I'm still trying to figure this out actually, but I think my batteries get charged up not only when I'm having time to myself, but actually in other people's company. Even if I'm not talking to other people, just having other faces and conversations and life going on around me relaxes my body, and it makes me get perspective, and it makes me think, okay, life isn't just everything that I'm struggling with. There are other people, there are other lives, there's other things going on. So I've been going to coffee shops recently, more often than I would do, a few times a week, which scares me because I don't want to spend too much money, but I just make sure I get something that's relatively cheap. I don't stay there for a really long time because I don't need to. Just an hour is enough to make me think, okay, there's life outside of this home, outside of this situation that I'm existing in. I feel good. I can go back home now and be in my own company, and everything just feels a bit lighter and easier. And yeah, it's just really worth the money. I could be spending money on a gym membership, which I'm not. And that's sometimes, like 40 quid a month. But I would much rather spend my money in coffee shops in spaces where I can go and just be around other people, but still be in my own little bubble. I actually think that's some of my best spent money. Also, one thing that I've been doing in the coffee shops, which is pretty revolutionary for me, I've been doing this for a long time now actually, but it has a big impact on my mood. I smile really liberally. I smile if there's a cute dog in the coffee shop, which sometimes then leads to a conversation with the owner. Or I make a point of, if I need the loo, and I'm going to leave my laptop at the side, I make a point of asking someone to watch over my laptop. One, because it gives me peace of mind, but two, because, you know, sometimes it makes people feel like they're connected to you in some way because you're trusting them, and then that can lead to a conversation. I had that the other day with a lady, and we had a little joke about how it's kind of weird to trust a stranger with your laptop. I also think it's a compliment to the stranger that, you know, you give off trusting vibes, so can you watch over my laptop? I just think it's a beautiful little human interaction. Smile liberally, talk to people if they are next to you and there's an opportunity to do so, because it will just make the world seem like a more friendly place. And that's just nice to exist in, right? And if you feel kind of disconnected from your friends or your partner and you don't feel like they're showing up for you in the ways that you want them to, at least you're showing up for yourself. You're taking yourself to this coffee shop environment and there are strangers chatting to you, making you feel good. You're getting that kind of human interaction in some way that you want, that you crave, that you need. The second thing that I've been doing a lot of to romanticize my life, which is just obvious, but then it's so easy to forget. Playing music. I have been adding and adding and adding to this playlist for a long time, and I now can just put it on and there will always be a song that surprises me because it's quite a long playlist and it's quite an uplifting playlist with happy, quite funky songs. And I'm just so grateful because it's so easy for me to switch out of a more sluggish mood into more of a the day is mine, I can seize it. I'm happy to be in this body, wearing this cool outfit. Music just does that to me. It makes me switch from a kind of low vibration to a high vibration. It gives me this energy and this enthusiasm for life. I also make sure to always add new songs to that playlist because there's something so exciting about coming to a playlist that you know not so well. That you know, oh my god, there's a couple of songs on there I don't know that well, and I'm really excited because they might start playing and it's just going to make me feel new emotions and make me think about different things, and it's just exciting, isn't it, having new songs on the playlist. So make sure you constantly add to that playlist as well. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, I would love it if you subscribed or commented or whatever you fancy doing. I would just love it if you interacted with me in some way because I love to connect with other humans off the back of these videos. That's why I do it. I do it for the person behind the screen. Yeah. This is a big one for the girls. Dress in an exciting outfit every day. Don't dress for him, don't dress for her, dress for you. Wear the outfit that makes you feel cool, makes you feel adventurous, makes you feel a bit out of your comfort zone, but in a good way. My advice is to wear those quirky outfits. Even if you're worried that you're not going to appear, sexy, or you're not going to show off your figure, or all this rubbish that we've been taught to prioritise as women. I get that there's that pressure, and I completely get how we feel like we can take up more space sometimes when we are appealing to the male gaze. I completely get that pressure. And you kind of have to be in a place where you can take a step back from that and you can be like, well, I'm not a woman that needs to be fancied by men anymore because I'm more than that. I'm a friend, I'm a lover, I'm a storyteller, I'm connecting with nature, I love animals, I'm so much more than this object that men can get with and fancy. If you feel cool in a baggy t-shirt, wear it. Who cares if your boyfriend doesn't like it? My favourite thing, which I'm sure is a fashion ick for many people, is wearing a lot of the same colour, if not all one colour. I would do that if I actually had clothes that would enable me to do that. I love wearing all of one colour. Some people might think, oh my god, she's wearing all green, how weird. But I don't care. Their judgment is only going to hinder them and trouble their mind. It's not going to trouble mine. I'm going to be too happy wearing the outfit that makes me feel cool and makes me feel almost like an artist experimenting. Experiment with your outfits. It's a form of play. It's a way of tapping into that kind of inner child, intuitive tendency to just, oh, I want to give that a go. Give it a go. Wear the outfit. There's no such thing as a weird outfit. Outfits are just forms of self-expression. It's just choice. There should be no rules on clothes. And we don't need to impose the rules that exist in society on ourselves. It's also really important that I actually decide to make a conscious effort to wear something exciting every day, even if it's a bit more casual. As long as I put a tiny bit more thought into it, I do just feel a bit more excited about the day, and I feel a bit more motivated to go out into the world for a walk to a coffee shop. I've got into a habit recently, which might not work for some of you. My anxiety tends to show up more in the morning, although I've experienced less anxiety in the mornings recently, and that's for another video. But yeah, I like to make sure I don't have to make many decisions in the morning, because it's hard to make decisions when we're anxious. So I like to plan my outfit in the evening the day before. And it does make you feel like you can go out into the world and say hello to the person on the park bench next to you. You feel more inclined to do that if you feel good about yourself, if you feel confident. And outfits and fashion can bring confidence out. Fashion can help us kind of fake it until we make it. We can dress to embody a certain characteristic like confidence or passion. My fourth suggestion for you to help you romanticize your life: make delicious food and make it a proper experience. The cooking bit, I mean. Light a candle, put on some good music, really set a nice tone to the room that you're cooking in so you can just enjoy the experience more. And also put thought into the food that you cook for yourself. I do realise some of us are not cooks, some of us don't enjoy cooking that much, so maybe just skip forward if that's you. But I'm half Italian, I love cooking. I don't mind cooking for other people, sometimes I enjoy that, but my favourite person to cook for is me. And I've noticed that recently because I've been on my own in this apartment and I've really enjoyed cooking, I've really got into it. And I also love garnishing my food, making it look beautiful. Even though like 5 minutes later I'm going to eat it, even if I'm not going to take a photo and put it on Instagram, I like to make my food look beautiful because it's like giving a present to yourself. Be playful. Like I was saying earlier, we had a lot of fun when we were kids on our own, and that is because we allowed ourselves time to play, to be intuitive with how we act. I have been doing this more when I've been going for walks in nature. I've actually been doing quite a lot of dog sitting, and being out with the dogs has allowed me to take my headphones out, slow down a bit more, and then it's kind of led to me actually just talking to myself, talking to the dogs, giggling a little bit, smelling the flowers. I think it's really beautiful to just be a bit childlike. It's so much easier to do that, I think, when we're in nature because there's just so much to play with. It's a real treat for all the senses. So having a balance between being that child version of yourself and that adult version of yourself is great. I am allowing my inner child to express herself more. We spend so much time taking ourselves really seriously, being very put together. We don't spend a lot of time being silly, being creative, having fun, playing. But having that balance is so important. We deserve to have a dance around our apartment in the middle of the working day if we feel like we want to release that energy, if we suddenly feel this excitement bubble up. The thing that pains me the most is the idea that someone might have like an urge to have a little dance and they just suppress that because they think, oh no, my partner might think I'm weird. I need to be normal, I need to be serious. That breaks my heart. I really do encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and express yourself. I get that it is stepping out of the comfort zone because it's scary, especially in public. If you're out in a park or whatever, like I have been doing recently, it's scary to, I don't know, if you feel the urge to suddenly run up to a tree. I realise that that might look weird to other people, but you being weird in public or embarrassing yourself in public or being cringy in public actually is a great thing for other people to see, because you inspire other people to then do the same themselves. You give space for other people to also be weird or embarrassing or cringy. By the way, if we really think about it, we know it's not weird to run around in a field. We see animals do it all the time, and I think animals are, acting way more on intuition. If they see a big meadow and they're suddenly filled with excitement, they run because they get that energy and they release it. I think it's far more weird to bottle up those emotions that are actually just beautiful, that do deserve to be expressed. I've even been joking around with myself a lot more recently, and I realise that some people might watch this and think, that's weird. But to be honest, that's more of a judgment that's going to affect your life, not mine. I love having jokes with myself. I love giggling in my own company. And yes, it might feel a bit forced at first, but once you have a few giggles to yourself, you become so much lighter, and you get into that mood where you are just giggly and you are seeing the funny side in things, and it's just such a beautiful way to experience the world. And we can do that when we're on our own too. So I do encourage you to try and get into that kind of giggly, playful, funny state. Another way that you can make your life so much more fruitful and exciting is by making sure that the space you exist in is beautiful. That doesn't mean that you need to go and buy lots of things and go shopping and do all this, spending and acquiring of material possessions. You might already have a candle. I encourage you to light it instead of just saving it, because so many of us are in that save the candle, save the perfume mentality. But you deserve to spray that perfume, you deserve to light that candle, you deserve to feel good every day. So make use of what you've got. Making your space beautiful in a way that makes you happy is such a good thing to do, because I don't know, I have moments when I'm working and I will just gaze around at the room that I'm existing in, and because it's beautiful at the moment and I've put time and thought into making it mine and making it just look visibly pleasing to me, I can just look at the room and it fills me with joy, and it helps me feel, happier to be working in there. So I really encourage you to create a beautiful ambiance for your life to unravel in. Also, if you are the kind of person that avoids cleaning their space and mess piles up, I do encourage you to just do one thing. Just say, okay, there's a lot of mess here, I'm a bit overwhelmed by it, but I'll just do one thing. I will clean my plate from lunchtime. I'm the kind of person, and you might not be the same, but I'm the kind of person who, once gets started, realises that it's not so difficult, realises that I don't need to be that overwhelmed, and I get it all done. So maybe just try doing one thing. Don't put any pressure on yourself to do any more than that, but you might find that you do more than that, and you get lots done, and suddenly you're existing in this beautiful clean space, and you feel like a goddess. I realise that a lot of us fixate on being productive rather than actually making the most of this life. So I've got an affirmation for you that will help you get your priorities in order. My main focus is on experiencing joy. You are not here to tirelessly work. You are not here to people please. You are not here to only have fun with other people. You deserve to have fun with yourself. You deserve to relax. You deserve to create. I said this in my last video. We are so much more than that person that's producing things. We're also somebody who deserves space to experience life and be happy and giggle. So prioritise experiencing joy. If we reaffirm this to ourselves every day, throughout the day, it will help us make more conscious decisions to do things that are going to lift our mood up. I've actually been using an affirmation very similar to this recently, and I've noticed that when I've been taking breaks in my working day, I've been feeling less guilty, because I'm saying to myself, it's okay because I'm prioritising joy. My existence on planet Earth is actually not going to be that long. As humans, we only really get, if we're lucky, 90 years on this planet. So why on earth are we focusing so much on proving ourselves, on working so hard? Why on earth aren't we prioritising feeling good? The last thing that I'm going to suggest for you beautiful people, thank you if you're still watching, is prioritise watching television or films that are going to expand your mind, that is going to fill you with positivity, that is going to make you hopeful. I think we're living in a day and age where there's a lot of sensational media, a lot of damaging and negative ideas being perpetuated, and a lot of us are getting used to seeing quite violent visuals on our screens, and I think that really does impact us. Even if we don't think it does, our subconscious is always listening, always observing, always taking in information that does inevitably impact us, and how we feel and how we move day to day. So I really encourage you to be more conscious with what you consume. Together we will do this one. We will prioritise watching television that is going to expand our minds, that's going to make us better people. We want to consume things that are going to encourage us to love ourselves and love the life we live in and be grateful. We don't want to consume things that's going to make us terrified to exist in this world. So that is where I'm going to conclude this video. Thank you so much for sitting here with me or lying here with me. All right, my lovelies, please subscribe and hit the bell button if you want to be notified when I post, and like the video and comment if you fancy. And I'll see you next week with another video. These beautiful leggings and tops were gifted to me, and I just thought I'd share with you how good they look and how good I feel in them. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can go and shop and have a look for yourself.